Traveling to Horizon Luna Colony.
You know,
Mystery heroes.
I could take a look at fixing up your suit.
And mess it up with a bunch of scrap metal bolted on the side? No thanks. I like it the way it is.
There's not my preference to see.
So with this
But I will see them go. Is they it?
mode, just keep in mind
Everyone signed their
that
life insurance policy?
you always have primary fire with whoever you have. So when all else fails, you do that, and then know the map. So anytime you have any map, just whatever you know at that time, utilize that to your advantage for this mode too. And just try and stay alive. Because you're somewhat banking on the chance that other players don't maybe play certain characters very often. Just want to try and utilize that to your advantage.
Health restored.
Restoring you. This will help. Take it.
Clearing the area.
So right now I'm just whatever I think I can do here, depending on what they're doing. And they've got a couple Hanzos.
Got you this time, Jesse.
And I sometimes play Farah. I don't use her too often, but the trick, in my opinion, is with rockets you want to try and you're not going to aim directly at the person because you're not probably going to hit them. So you want to kind of aim where you think they might be going, and you want to kind of scatter them so that if they happen to walk in front of it, then that's at least a little bit of damage you've done there. And in that case, that it just happened there, that was somebody else that got the KO, but I still had some damage applied to it, so that's what you want to try and do.
Right on target. The enemy. Touch from afar.
And with Farah, you don't always need to be in the air either. I mean, she's good on the ground too, where you just can shoot some rockets in that way too. So you don't always have to feel like you've got to utilize her in the air.
An expedient solution. The power of the
60 seconds remaining.
This will heal you. Not ready.
System repair. My ultimate repair.
Always work on shields when you can, if you can. Even if it seems like they aren't going to use it, you just never know.
That's how it is.
Alright. sometimes it's just luck too, and if people get characters they're good at, then that always helps as well.
Slave of the game.
Surrender to my will.
Double, triple kill.
Heroes round 2.
One. Round 3. Capture. the
Looks like
objective.
I'm jumped in the middle of the game here, so each side is 1-1, so see what we can do here. I usually don't play Widowmaker that often,
The objective is now
but she can get up close too, so it's always what I like to do is, if I see somebody, then I'll scope in. I don't like to keep the scope on too much because I can't move very fast in that mode, so. And Mystery Heroes, if you're just not doing well with a character, just go in and do something so you can get KO'd and then come back, try and come back to somebody else, but don't purposefully KO yourself. Try and do something. I thought I was clear from that, but obviously not.
Come on, let's bring it together.
I usually do use Lucio if I'm healing for different things. It's really good for speed boost on certain maps, especially like this one where if you're coming out of the gates you can use speed boost, and then if you're on the point like this, his radius goes all the way around. So if you got enough people on the point, then they can heal while they're standing there. Right now everybody's getting healed. It's on this area.
Let's group up here. That's not right. Baptiste.
I don't usually play Reaper too often. I tend to not prefer the close combat kind of fighting. It's just, for me, I can stand at a distance and do a lot better damage for the team. But I do like close combat. If I see somebody, I can go right in. I know I can get them, and if I can isolate somebody, but you kind of have to, and they go around here just to. Yeah, Yeah, see what we can do. Okay, that can work. Yeah, that's... Alright. Worked out. Yeah, if you get put in a game late and
Play of the game.
there's already stuff going on, just do what you can, and you know, you just never know. This is round 3 of Mystery Heroes. Won the last 2, so we'll see what we do here. I don't usually play Brigitte that often,
5, 4,
but it is nice they updated her health thing to where it cycles through 3 of them.
capture the objective.
I try to do mid-range and obviously close combat with her, but just depends on what's going on here.
The objective
And I'm just yeah, for me it's just always important to contest the point. So you just want to. That's how you win the game. So you know you want to.
Party on the objective. Who's in?
You want to get in the habit of doing it. If you don't do it, I usually play Baptiste a fair amount, so I do enjoy using him. Test the point here just because it's that much more time. So got a few extra percentages there, so you know it's always worth it. You know, when people are going all around the map, I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So you just need to know what you can do in relation to the character you're playing as and the map. And to know that the objective is to contest the point, in whatever form that is. Reinhardt, I don't use him too often either, but I try to pretty much be a shield for the most part and move around. And you want to look at the map and you want to see what's going on and you want to move the shield according to what's going on so that people can get behind it. You know, and when you don't want to do too much because if you charge in, that leaves you kind of vulnerable. And if people get close, then you can really do some damage. So. People play him differently, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But he is limited to a degree, so this is what I tend to like to do, just keep the shield up, keep it moving, see what what's going on. Keep the shield at a spot where it looks good. Try and defend. Because if you can protect a few of your teammates, then that'll help them do the KOs. And then go in for that kind of stuff like that. And if your barrier goes out, just kind of move around, dodge around, let it recharge. Do what you can do. You don't. Oh, I. That was a little bit of there. And well, somehow that worked out. I really thought that when they launched that bomb that they were going to take the point there. But that was a little bit of luck on that. But again, I know that for me, dodging out of the way is going to be more beneficial, so you have to take those things into consideration too. You know, because again, it's about taking the point in whatever form that is on the map. That's how you win the game. So you want to get in the habit of doing that, not trying to go in and KO somebody.
Greetings. Hello.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And with Soldier, I use him, but I've tended to go into McCree as my like default damage person for right now. But if you can utilize Soldier too, that's just good because you can lay down healing, you can on bomb, you got a little bit of rapid fire. And you can obviously run too, which is always helpful.
Heal up here.
And I think the best person against the Pharah is Soldier, just because of the rapid fire mostly, and the way Pharah moves, you can utilize that. It's not always a guarantee, and I do use McCree a lot in conjunction and getting rid of Pharah too, so we've got people on. I'm just trying. Yeah, we had a lot of you coming from all different corners. So. What I got here. And yeah, Mr. Heroes, you're gonna get all kinds of stuff, so you just kind of gotta. It's not gonna be any traditional setup or anything. Just gotta do what you can, roll with it. And, we can get rid of that Farish, you won't have to all... Oh, she didn't heal yet, so okay, alright, I'll see what we can do here. Take it. Okay, that was worth it. See, sometimes you just never know. There could have been a couple other people back there, so... Oh, they got another thing. Okay. But again, we got the point to 99%, so you know that's what you want to do in those situations. I actually do like using Wrecking Ball for certain things, especially this map, because you can swing around on the point, and I tend to like to do that. I'm usually relatively successful with it. and it keeps people off the point, and they have to make a choice on if they want to try and KO me or go in for it or whatever they're going to do. Anybody that comes on, you knock them out of the way, and your teammates can get on the map and not be affected by it either. So it works in certain situations.
Victory. Play of the game.
Well, that's 3 wins in a row on Mystery Heroes. That's pretty good. Mystery Heroes can be hit or miss. You can lose quite a few in a row too. So it depends on who you're playing as and what your teammates are playing as and what anybody else is doing too. So just whoever you get, just do what you can and use your primary fire when all else fails.
Welcome to Oasis.
Round 4 of Mystery Heroes. We won the first 3.
Analyzing location.
Let's see what we can do on this one. This will be the last one just to play 4 rounds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
And as I said before, I do like using Baptiste, so put down. Mystery Heroes, you just, you may not even get a healer, so I just try and hang on to it as long as I can. But you also want to get on the point and do all that. So. See, we got 2 Baptistes, so that's cool. Try and Baptiste, you want to conserve your extra moves because they take a while to respawn. So you want to use them wisely. Just get in the habit of launching your healing orbs to your teammates. And using your primary fire. The only thing about Baptiste is he can't heal himself unless you use the, I don't know what it's called, but unless you hit the L shift button to do that, which is kind of like Lucio's healing radius. But, okay, so. In Mystery Heroes too, you never know when you get KO'd, so I tend to use my ult immediately, just because you just don't know if you're going to get KO'd for whatever reason. So. Yeah, that was first KO, so that's pretty good.
Best round.
Let them up.
There you go. So we got lucky because we had 2 Baptistes, and I mean, in a normal match you wouldn't have that kind of stuff. So I mean, that's why Mystery Heroes can be hit or miss.
With every death comes honor. With honor, it is time to act.
But that's why you try and stay alive too, because you just don't know who you're gonna get, and if you're good at somebody or you know that someone's beneficial, then you try and stay alive as long as you can with that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture
And I do use Hanzo a little bit. I don't use him too often. It depends on what's going on, what the map is. But I do use him a little bit. So.
See through the
I don't know that I would pick him for this. If I was picking him, I don't know that I would pick him for this map, but I do what you gotta do for Mystery Heroes. So.
My will made real.
There's a lot of people that are good with those characters. So never underestimate that Hanzo or Widowmaker or Ash when you come across them, because they will get you.
All patched up. Back, guys. Much better.
And yeah, as I've been saying, I do like using McCree. I prefer him quite a bit. Can do a lot of damage depending on how you hit the other characters. So. No. I really do like the stun gun, but you gotta be quick, especially when you do the fan the hammer. They don't stay stunned for as long as you might think. So. With McCree, I kind of like to stay mid-range because it's easier for me to aim fire from a little bit longer distance. As opposed to getting up real close, but it depends. That's why if you go in close, you have the stun gun, the stun bomb ready. Because you can do stuff like that. But again, in Mystery Heroes, you want to use your ult ASAP because you don't know if you're going to get it, unless you're in a situation where it can take a little more time. But for right now, I don't know if it's going to last. McCree is really good against Doomfist too because you can stun him. I know Doomfist can be intimidating, but if you are good enough with McCree, you can take him out real quick. So.
activating the barrier.
Same with Tracer too. That's alright, that happens. I don't play Tracer really at all, but it's the same. I approach it like Reaper, where if I see somebody, then I go up and try and get him. All right, well, that's 4 for 4 for Mystery, guys. So that's pretty good. We'll see what we can do with some other modes and things like that. It's alright to vote for yourself too. Oh, that's 4 matches, 4 wins. That's nothing to complain about.